Once upon a time, in a small village, Ibio, nestled between two cities, there lived Ebube Ejiofor. Ebube was a very dark and handsome man. He was a very successful tailor. Ebube was so much good in his craft that a lot of women patronized him, some for business purpose, but others was to get noticed by Ebube, the man that makes clothes sculptured to bring out the shapes of women. No other tailor in the village could match the great skills of Ebube. One thing that was very rare with Ebube is to see him in a romantic relationship with any woman. People often wondered if he was into women or his plan is to die single. The ladies were so desperate to get noticed by Ebube that two particular ladies on one occasion registered to be Ebube's apprentice. But over time, when Ebube noticed that they were not really interested in learning how to sew, but rather want an opportunity to get close to him, he simply refunded them their money and sent them away from his shop because they always look for a way to seduce him. One day, a young lady, Marachi, walked into Ebube's shop to sew her clothes. The moment Marachi walked into the shop was lighted up by the radiance of her beauty. Ebube, in deep thoughts, staring at Marachi, how can a lady be this beautiful? Hello, Marachi said. It was the hello of Marachi that snapped Ebube back to reality. Sorry, how can I help you? I want to turn these fabrics into a very beautiful style, Marachi said. Okay, sit down. Marachi chose the style she wanted, while Ebube went ahead to take her measurements. Do you live around here? Ebube questioned her. Yes, not so far, but how come I've never seen your face around here? Ebube asked. Oh, I barely come out of the house. Sorry, if you don't mind, which of the houses do you stay? Chief Okonkwo's compound. Are you Chief Okonkwo's daughter? Ebube asked. Yes. Wow, that's great. Marachi was the only daughter of Chief Okonkwo, who happens to be the richest man in the whole village. Chief Okonkwo is known to be a no-nonsense man, as everyone feared and respected him. Ebube was a good tailor, but his only problem was that, just like most African Nigerian tailors, they sometimes disappoint their customers when it was time to collect their clothes. But for Marachi, Ebube did not delay a bit, as immediately she left, Ebube sprung into action and made Marachi's dress. He did not want to disappoint Marachi in order to have a good impression in her sight. The day Marachi was to pick her clothes, he had ironed the clothes, packaged it, waiting for Marachi's arrival. Marachi, on entering Ebube's shop, asked, "Is my clothes ready?" "Yes, of course," Ebube replied, smiling. Marachi went ahead to try the clothes on and really loved the work Ebube did to the fabrics. She handed over the money for the clothes to Ebube. "No, don't worry." "Ah, is that what you do to all your customers?" Marachi questioned. "No, but of course you are special." Looking at Marachi, he said, "I really like you." "No, you can't." "Why can't I?" Marachi looked at Ebube and walked away. That day, after Marachi left Ebube's shop, Ebube became very restless, and the memory of Marachi was stuck in his head. Ebube looked forward to seeing Marachi again. It seems nearly impossible until one day he strolled round Marachi's street, and fortunately for him, Marachi came out of the house. Hello, 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 please wait, please wait. Ebube hurried after Marachi. You? How can I help you? Marachi asked. Since the last time I saw you, I can't seem to get you out of my head. Really? Marachi interrupted. They gradually started talking and they both became really close. But Marachi insisted that she was just a friend and nothing more. Out of desperation, Ebube agreed to be friends with Marachi. But that notwithstanding, Ebube, who has never fallen in love before, for the first time that he did, he was friend-zoned by Marachi. But he never mind, regardless. He just wanted an opportunity to be close to Marachi. The first day Ebube visited Marachi, he got what he never expected. Marachi was busy discussing with Ebube at the gazebo of the house when Okonkwo, her father, walked in and saw them. Who is this nincompoop? Okonkwo thundered. Oh, Daddy, meet Ebube, my friend, Marachi said. As Ebube stood up to greet him, Mister, before I close my eyes, I don't want to see you in my house or anywhere close. Sir, Ebube answered. You heard me right. Get out. Ebube stood up, looking at himself because the look Okonkwo gave him was like a person who just saw someone with excreta. Ebube left Marachi's house shameful, and since then, he was truly afraid to come close to Marachi's compound. So most times, Marachi was the one that visited him in his shop. As their friendship progressed, most of the ladies that had crush on Ebube were unhappy and wondered what Ebube saw in Marachi. But Daddy, Ebube is just my friend. Friend? If Noso and his parents sees you close with him, how do you explain that? But Dad, can't I make friends with people? No, you can't. You can't just make random friends, especially with a common tailor. Daddy, how did you know he is a tailor? I have my ears and eyes on ground and I know who he is. Daddy, Ebube is not a bad person. He's a very hardworking man, Marachi told his father. Marachi, I don't want to ever see that boy around my house, and don't ever mention his name again in this house. Marachi always reminded Ebube that they were just friends and nothing more. Marachi was betrothed to Chukwuma, the son of Ezego, Okonkwo's friend. Their engagement was for class, as Okonkwo's friend was as wealthy as Okonkwo. Marachi did not mind getting married to Chukwuma, if not for love, but at least to keep up her class and status. Ebube was never aware that Marachi was betrothed to be married off after she goes to school and finishes from the university. Marachi has gained admission into the university and resumed the section in year 1 as a fresher student. She was really new to the system and pleaded with her parents to come check up on her in school. When trouble struck, Okonkwo and his wife were on their way to visit Marachi in school when they had a ghastly motor accident. When Marachi was informed about the death of her parents, she was broken and felt empty. It was a feeling of pain mixed with guilt. She asked herself, if she had not begged her parents to come visit her, they would have still been alive. Marachi felt guilty and blamed herself for the death of her parents. Marachi would cry days non-stop. Chukwuma, who was betrothed to Marachi, all of a sudden started avoiding her. He only came twice while Marachi was mourning to console her. Chukwuma's parents were not left out, as it seemed as though the death of Okonkwo was the end of an era. As they were so distant from Marachi as a friend to the Okonkwo, people expected better from them. The truth is, the relationship that existed between Okonkwo and Chukwuma's parents were all for benefit. It was a win-win relationship, as the relationship was bettered for status and for class. 6 months after Marachi's parents' death, Marachi refused going back to the university because she had resentment for it. To make things worse, Marachi's uncle took over the various businesses Okonkwo had, claiming that a girl child has no inheritance in her father's house. The only thing Marachi had to herself was her room, as all her uncles and auntie took Okonkwo's house and were living with Marachi. Marachi did not have a say on the running of her father's business and houses. Her uncles threatened her that if she does not cooperate, they will have no option other than to send her away from the house. Ebube really felt for Marachi for all that she was going through, and he kept encouraging her that she would skate through. Though Ebube was not a graduate, he was not pleased with the fact that Marachi stopped school. "Marachi, why don't you want to go back to school?" Ebube asked one day. "School? I just don't want to go back to school, considering all I have been through. And even if I want to, how will I pay for all my fees? You know exactly what is going on, how my uncles have collected all the properties. The only thing I have to my name right now is the room I sleep in." "Marachi, don't worry about fees. I would support you. I really need you to go back to school and make your parents proud, and me, of course." He smiled. After so much deliberation, convincing, and a lot of talking, Marachi finally decided to go back to the university. Going back to school was not easy for Marachi, as she had missed one semester already, but with the constant encouragement of Ebube, she was able to pull through. Ebube worked hard the more, as he knew for him to raise money to pay Marachi's tuition would mean working extra hard. Ebube would work night and day non-stop, as to be able to raise enough money for Marachi, the love of his life. When Marachi was in year 3, he met a very rich and handsome guy. Marachi was most times in campus seen riding with Noso, the new guy. It did not take long that after Noso asked Marachi out, she agreed to be his girlfriend. Noso was the son of a very rich businessman. Marachi knew that she needed Nonso to be able to elevate her status again. Though Noson's parents were rich, he never really cared how Marachi was able to pay for her tuition. All he does was to take Marachi to very expensive restaurants, buy beautiful clothes for her. Marachi enjoyed the fact that Nonso was able to pay and buy expensive things for her. Marachi looked really flashy with those things, but never really had money in reality. Ebube, on the other hand, would sometimes leave his shop, getting lots and lots of food stuff, taking them to Marachi to ensure that Marachi does not starve while studying. Ebube was not aware of the relationship that went on between Marachi and Nonso. as he diligently continued financing Marachi's education. One of the days when Marachi was on holiday, she never cared to check up on Ebube. One of Ebube's friends informed him that Marachi was around and was currently in the village. Really, Ebube was really surprised to know that Marachi was around, unknown to him. Ebube hurriedly went to see Marachi. Marachi, why didn't you tell me you were around? Oh, sorry, I forgot. How long have you been around? Ebube asked. Why do you want to know? Marachi thundered. Oh, sorry, I just wanted to know, Ebube said calmly. Marachi finally finished from the university. Ebube was the happiest person. He was truly happy for Marachi and for the fact that she was able to skate through and his efforts never went to waste. Ebube's love for Marachi increased over the years, and he would not stop telling those who cared to listen how he loved Marachi so deeply. On one occasion, a lady named Chimsom approached him, confessing her undying love to Ebube. I already have a girlfriend. I have a woman in my life, Ebube told Chisom. And who is your girlfriend? She asked. You don't need to know her. Don't worry about that. I am only telling you because I don't want you to feel hurt. But I don't usually see you with any woman, Chisom said. Oh, it is because my girlfriend is in the city. She's always not around. Chisom left Ebube's presence feeling sad. It was Marachi's birthday as Ebube planned a small surprise birthday for her. Marachi was not expecting to see Ebube because she was in company of Nonso, but because the surprise was well orchestrated by Ebube, she was really taken by surprise as everyone merry. Suddenly, Ebube knelt down on one knee and said, Marachi, will you marry me? Marachi looked round, looking at Nonso and the other girls present at her party. Immediately, she burst into laughter. Ebube, is this a joke or what? I am not joking, Marachi. You know how much I love you and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. You? A tailor? Marachi said. You want to marry me? Ha! I can't. I can't marry you, she said as she walked away. Remember, do not ever assume your relationship. Subscribe to this channel for more updates. Subscribe to this channel for more interesting African tale. Like this video and comment what you've learned so far in the comment section. I will be there. Do not forget to like and share this video to your loved ones. Until I come your way again, for now, from me, it is bye.